I'm Brandon Baer, co-founder and CEO of Flightcontrol. I'm a pilot. I have a huge heart to serve other people and for city transformation here in Dayton, Ohio. Probably one of the main themes of my life has to do with adventure and freedom. I've always loved adventures, spent lots of time outside as a kid, climbing trees, climbing to the very tops of trees and waving in the wind. I think I might have flown out of the womb. I'm not sure. Ever since I was born, I've just been obsessed with planes. So I started training at 15 and a half for real. Soloed at 16, a license at 17, and been flying ever since. One of the main problems that I had and I saw in the market around this time was around deployments and infrastructure. And I was using things like Vercel, platform as a service, that are very easy to use, very simple, they're amazing. But with the application I was building as a consultant, I kept running into too many technical limitations. And I really needed to be using native AWS infrastructure. It would have been so much easier, but I didn't have the skills, the experience, and it was just like too difficult. I tried going down that route, and I was like, well, why can't I have this good developer experience on my own AWS account? Like connect your AWS and then the platform will deploy to that. I was like, that'd be so amazing. And the very next day, I get this Twitter DM out of the blue from a guy named Mina Abadir. And now we knew of each other through an online entrepreneur community, but we had never had a one-on-one conversation. We didn't really know each other at all. But he sends me this DM and he says, hey, I'm thinking about building a deploy to AWS thing, and explained it. Do you want to partner on it? And it was like exactly what I just decided to build. And I was like, what the heck is happening? And I was like, well, I have no idea who this guy is, but we need to talk. Like, how does this happen except for like God's help? In April 2021, we incorporated the company and we didn't have a product yet. And we were really wanting to get some funding. And so it was just no after no after no. It was like the most miserable time of my life. Toward the end of this process, I applied to Y Combinator just as like a whatever. Like I've applied twice before, that got rejected. Like there's no way we're going to get in, but let's put it in there just in case. And not long after, it was like Monday morning, I got an email saying, hey, you're invited to interview for Y Combinator on Wednesday, which means that we were like a top pick because they were interviewing us in the first batch. So it's a 10-minute interview. You get in there and it's just rapid fire questions like, how are you going to make money? What's your product? Why is it going to be better than competitors? Like just these kind of like quick things, and you answer them and you get off the call and you're just sitting there like waiting all day. If you get accepted, you'll get a call usually that evening. If you get rejected, you get an email maybe the next day. So we're just like, no idea what's going to happen. It was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I get a call from some random number that I didn't know. It's like, oh, maybe this is Y Combinator, you know? I'm like, answer and hello. And they're like, this is Y Combinator. Like, we would love to have you join your program. And I was like, I went running down the hall. I was just like jumping and screaming. Like, it was like crazy because they have like 15,000+ applications and only like 1 or 2% of applications get accepted. Since I had this kind of original idea for Flightcontrol, it has been so obvious and clear that the traditional platform as a service model, where you completely abstract away AWS, is like obsolete. Like, because Heroku tried this, companies reach a point of scale where it becomes way too expensive, way too limiting, and then they go through this very expensive migration process out to AWS. Like, it happened over and over and over. Like Instacart, for example, started building on Heroku, they reach a point of scale, and they go through this extremely expensive migration to AWS. And this just fueled my understanding of why not use my own AWS account and get this developer experience layer on top? So you get the best of both worlds. You get the developer experience, the ease of use, the ability for developers to manage their own infrastructure and services without having DevOps experience or AWS, specific knowledge. And you get the raw power of AWS, the reliability, which is like near perfect, the scalability, and all the benefits, and you can scale, forever. I believe so strongly that the Flightcontrol model of deploying to your own AWS is like literally the future of infrastructure for startups.